What's good YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Life and Conditioning. If you want your best results possible, you should train in this style of power building or the same way that basically strength athletes train. Throughout this video I have some pictures of my program and a structure. There's going to be some differences, but I will explain that over time. So with the power building style, you should be doing a couple of heavy compound movements, and absolute worst or best, I guess I can say, you should be doing 3 compound heavy loaded in a session, no more than that, absolutely no more. That's the cap. Somewhere between 1 and 3 heavy compound based movements. Overall, I would recommend 2 instead of 1 and 3 if you have the ability to recover from it. However, if you're training 4, 5, even 6 days a week, I would recommend moving towards the lower end of the spectrum. The more days a week you're training, the less you should actually be having 2 heavy or 3 heavy compound movements in a single session. If you have 6 days per week, I would basically recommend that you're alternating it to 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This way you will have one day where you do 1 heavy compound and another day where you do 2 heavy compound and then back to 1 again, and you repeat this. That will probably be the best way you can do it. And if you're doing 6 days a week, chances are you're doing push-pull legs or some sort of variation with it. And if you're doing that, this also means there's going to be days where push is one of the tougher days, is going to be where one is pull is the tougher day, and one where legs is the tougher day. But you will also have a variation of those where it's a bit easier, and it's ultimately not going to tax you nearly as much as it otherwise would have. And this could actually potentially be a way to make push-pull legs work a lot better in your favor if you actually manage it in this way as well. And the opposite is true. If you are training 2 or 3 days per week, then good chances are that you should probably be doing 3 heavy base compound movements as the first few movements before you move into your smaller isolated or assistance types work with more rep work based. So this is basically the reason why I say power building is the best way to train. As an example, one of the days that I have is I will start out with some log press, log cleans, incline, narrow incline grip bench, and then some smaller isolation work, some shoulders, rear delts mostly, and some side delts, as some triceps work, and then go home. And all of it is 12-15 reps or so on the back end. Whereas when I first start out, I will do on my log press, I will do a heavy set of 3, then a couple of back off with 6s, and then go do some heavy cleans, just because I practice that particular skill and practice with cleaning a heavy log. And then from that, I will be doing some medium rep work of the narrow incline bench, and then high rep work. And with this kind of structure, basically the first 2 movements, which is 2 and 1 for me in this case, that's when I do my heavy loading. And then once that is done, I move into the lighter or moderate load and a bit more stable. And then from that, I trickle down into smaller isolation work. And this is power building at its core, and also the best way for you to train as a natural, because when you come in, that's when you're going to be the most fresh, and when you're the most fresh, that's when you should be doing your heavy hard-hitting movements. That's going to get you stronger the fastest and make you grow the best. And then you go into your smaller isolation work that works on your weaknesses. This is an example of what I do and why I say it's the best. And trust me on this one, you don't want to do 4, 5, or even 6 compounds movements in a single session. That shit is going to fry you. Please don't do that. Thank you for watching.